Honey, we can't go on living in your father's house. We're married. We ought to have a place of our own. I'm no moocher.
Darling, we're not mooching.
Then we're imposing.
We're not.
Well, we're not, eh? We move into one guest room, and my freeloading friend Rollo helps me in with the suitcases and takes over the other guest room. And Cleo, look at her, in your father's chair. All she does is eat and sleep all day.
I also worry about what's to eat tomorrow.
Darling, it would be more practical to stay, but you're my husband, and if you say go, we go.
You sure? You're not just doing it to please me.
Sure, I'm doing it to please you. But what's good of anything if you're not happy?
I like you.
Hey! Anybody care for a swim?
Rollo, what are you doing in the mayor's bathrobe?
Pretty jazzy, isn't it? Oh, it's a little big, but I'm eating enough here to grow into it. It's nice to be retired at 28.
How can you be such a loafer?
It isn't easy. It takes a tremendous lack of pride.
Get up, Rollo. We're packing.
Anybody seen my terry cloth robe? Wow. That answers my question.
Your Honor, we've got something to tell you. You've been very nice to the Millers, and we appreciate it. But
Now, Dad, please don't be offended.
But we're going to give you your house back.
Oh? Well, I'll be sorry to see you go. I've loved having you here, both of you. But if the two little fledglings want to seek their own nest, this old hoot owl isn't going to stop them.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're very understanding. Come on, darling, we better pack.
Oh! Oh! My trail beer, it's coming back! Oh. Oh.
What is it, my boy?
Oh, it's my Dreo beer.
What's Dreo beer?
Dreo beer is free board spelled backwards.
Don't move me. Don't move me. Oh. 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 Oh.
He pulled something like this when he met a red-headed nurse in the hospital and didn't want to leave.
What a character. I don't know how he can live with himself.
He can't. That's why he lives with us. Come on, let's go.
Oh. 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 I'm okay. Not bad acting, huh?
What?
Oh, that groaning bit was just to keep them here.
But they want to leave.
Oh, not really. Deep down inside, Sock wants to stay. But he thinks he's in your way.
But I've enjoyed having our newlyweds here. It's been a privilege.
Yes, and if you play it smart, we can enjoy that privilege for another 6 months. I hate to think that your only daughter would resent her only father. Oh, I've talked too much. Excuse me, I'll go pack.
No. I want to hear more. What about my daughter?
What happened to the knife?
He just stuck it into the mayor's back.
Honey, isn't it great?
Oh, it's going to be wonderful living in a house of our own. But I have to admit, I never thought Daddy would let us go so easily.
I love you.
I suppose it's a modern attitude, and Daddy's certainly no old fogey.
I love
At
you.
least he could have been modern in a more old-fashioned way.
I love
You
you.
know, parents baffle me. Most fathers would want to hold on to their only daughter. But he seemed almost glad to get rid of me.
I hate you.
Well, of course, I don't really mean he was glad. What'd you say?
I love you.
Oh, I love you, too.
But unless you act now, one day Sock will be talking to his son, your grandson. Myron, he won't even name him John after you. Do you know that when we were broke, your grandfather kicked us out of the house? The child sobs. Me hate Grandpa.
No. My grandson will love me.
Only if you act fast. They're in there packing. I'm no meddler, so I'm not going to tell you to go in there and stop them from leaving. Now.
But they seem so sincere about wanting their own place.
With my own ears, I heard Mandy tell Gus she'd like to stay here to cut down on expenses. I was going to keep that locked inside. But you've picked that lock. You lock picker. Make them stay.
I will. I will. Thanks, Rollo.
It's all right. Dad? Your Honor, I felt it was my duty. After all, you've got a heart. And Sock and Mandy have 2 hearts.
And Rollo has 3 stomachs.
Come on.
Now listen. Don't let Sock and Mandy know that we talked. Because we didn't. Know what I mean?
I'm going to show Sock what a real father-in-law I can be.
Well, Daddy, I guess we're all set.
Well, you didn't lose any time.
Oh, Your Honor, we thought maybe we'd better stay at a motel while we're looking for an apartment.
Now, wait a minute. Gus and I are going to Yellowstone for a week. The place is yours while we're gone.
Oh, no, sir. We don't want to chase you out of the house.
But we go to Yellowstone every year, don't we, Mandy?
Well, it's very generous of you, Your Honor, but...
Sock, I've always had a daughter, but never a son. Now I have a son, and I'm happy. Because you're lovable.
I never knew you felt this way, Your Honor. Dad?
Then you'll stay?
Well, you see, Your Honor, Mandy and I hadn't...
Your father-in-law has spoken. Sweet guy.
Daddy, Sock and I feel that no house is big enough for 2 families.
But there'll only be one family. Yours for the next week.
Then it's all settled. What do you say we go for a swim?
You'll have the house to yourselves while we're gone. And after Gus and I return from our trip, maybe you'll fall in love so much with the place that you won't want to leave.
Well, I don't know, sir.
Do it for me, son.
Well, okay, but just for the week.
Splendid. Now let's all go for a swim.
Yes. All right, Charlie, I'll tell him. But His Honor's going to be disappointed. Goodbye.
Did you leave a goodbye note for the kids?
Yes. Thank you, Cleo. Oh, John, that call was from Charlie Kearns. Senator Bedgemont is coming in from Washington.
He's the one I'm banking on to get the highway to go through New City. Gus, I hate to do this, but I've got to see him.
Well, we could go camping later on, but didn't you promise the kids the house for a week?
That's right. I mustn't let them down. I'll never let them down. When I go, I want my epitaph to read, he may not have been the best mayor in the world, but he was the best father-in-law.